In a rare and extraordinary event, the birth of a baby girl left medical professionals astonished. With odds of 1 in 48 million, her arrival shocked the doctors. In the close-knit town of Dirranbandy, southwest Queensland, excitement filled the air. Caitlin and Tom Perkins not only shared a deep love, but also the unique coincidence of the same August 16th birthday. This year, anticipation grew as they awaited the birth of their first child, due near their shared birthday. At Greenslopes Private Hospital in Brisbane, their obstetrician, Dr. Brad Robinson, smiled and joked with the staff. What are the chances? Meanwhile, Dirranbandy's local pub, the Outback Oasis, became the center of a lively betting pool. Patrons wagered not only on the baby's birth date, but also on specifics like time, weight, and labor duration. The funds raised were dedicated to the baby's future education, a heartfelt gesture that brought the community together. On the eve of August 16th, a sudden fierce storm swept through Dirranbandy. Power flickered and went out, including at Greenslopes Private Hospital. The backup generators kicked in, but the atmosphere was charged with an electric sense of urgency. As midnight approached, Caitlin went into spontaneous labor, the storm raging outside mirroring the turmoil inside. The delivery room was a flurry of activity as Dr. Robinson and his team, illuminated by harsh artificial light, prepared for a birth that seemed scripted by fate. Tom held Caitlin's hand tightly, whispering words of encouragement. The clock ticked closer to midnight, each second punctuated by the howl of the wind and Caitlin's focused breathing. As the storm reached its crescendo, Lucy Mary Perkins was born, the clock striking midnight. The room erupted in cheers, not just for the healthy arrival of Lucy, but for the miraculous alignment of dates. Dr. Robinson, wiping his brow, turned to the new parents. "Well, I'll be born right on the dot. Happy birthday to all three of you." In Dirranbandy, the power returned just as Lucy cried out her first breaths. The community, gathered at the Outback Oasis, cheered as the pub's lights flickered back to life, as if in celebration. In the early hours of August 16th at Greenslopes Private Hospital, things had quieted following the storm's departure. The community of Dirranbandy had dispersed to catch a few hours of rest. Only the hospital's night shift remained vigilant, the hallways echoing with the soft sounds of routine checks. As Caitlin and Tom tried to rest in the recovery room, the shared sense of relief was palpable but brief. Caitlin, cradling newborn Lucy, whispered to Tom, "Do you think the calm is here to stay?" Just as Tom was about to respond, Caitlin's expression shifted from contentment to discomfort. Dr. Robinson, still on duty, rushed into the room upon being alerted by the monitoring nurse. He noticed signs of postpartum complications. The room, which had just minutes before echoed with laughter and celebration, turned tense as the medical team sprang into action. Caitlin was whisked away for immediate care, leaving Tom alone with Lucy, his joy overshadowed by sudden worry. Outside, the aftermath of the storm had caused a small fire in the hospital's electrical unit. Although quickly contained, it necessitated a partial evacuation of the maternity wing. Amidst this, Tom, with Lucy in his arms, was guided to a safer section of the hospital. The corridors were filled with the hurried steps of staff and the soft murmurs of other evacuees, adding a layer of complexity to an already tense night. As Tom settled into the temporary room, he realized that Lucy's favorite nurse, Nurse Emma, who had been particularly supportive during Caitlin's labor, was unaccounted for during the evacuation. Concerned, Tom mentioned this to Dr. Robinson, who immediately coordinated with the hospital staff to locate her. Unbeknownst to them, Nurse Emma had gone back to retrieve vital medical records and had been temporarily trapped due to the fire-related disruptions. Meanwhile, back in Dirranbandy, the community hadn't gone to bed as expected. Instead, they gathered at the local community center, preparing for what they thought would be a celebration. Upon hearing of the complications and the fire, they mobilized, arranging for supplies and support to be sent to the hospital. The local radio station, which had been covering the birthday miracle, now kept the town updated and coordinated community support efforts. Back at the hospital, as Tom nervously paced the makeshift room, Dr. Robinson returned with good news. Caitlin was stable, the complications had been managed effectively, and Nurse Emma had been found safe. Relief washed over Tom, and he felt immense gratitude for the support of their small town. As dawn broke over Brisbane, the hospital slowly returned to normal. Caitlin, now recovering, was reunited with Tom and Lucy. They embraced, a little weary but filled with love and a deeper appreciation for each other and their daughter. Yet the peace was short-lived as the remnants of the night's challenges gave way to a morning that promised its own share of surprises. While Caitlin recovered, Dr. Robinson received an urgent call from the maternity ward. Another woman was in labor, but the case was fraught with complications and she needed immediate attention. Dr. Robinson, already stretched thin from the night's events, rallied his team once again. As he rushed out, he passed Tom and gave him a reassuring nod, a silent promise that he would return soon. Outside the hospital, the news of the triple birthday and the night's dramatic events had caught the attention of the local media. Reporters and camera crews gathered, eager to capture the story of Lucy's birth, the fire, and the community's rallying support. Tom, protective of his family's privacy, found himself thrust into an unexpected role as spokesperson. With Caitlin's approval, he addressed the media, sharing their story, but asking for privacy and respect for the other families affected by the night's events. Just as Tom and Caitlin were processing their new lives as parents of a sensational baby, another surprise came their way. Tom's own parents, who had been on a remote expedition in the outback and out of contact, suddenly appeared at the hospital, unaware of their granddaughter's dramatic entry into the world. They were overjoyed and overwhelmed. The reunion was emotional, filled with tears and laughter as they celebrated the multiple milestones. The hospital room, once a site of anxiety and fear, transformed into a space of celebration and wonder. Dr. Robinson returned from the delivery room, successful in managing the complicated birth, and joined in the joy of the growing crowd. He smiled at the sight of the united family, the bustling nurses, and the doting grandparents all surrounding little Lucy. A few weeks after the baby's birth, the hospital received an anonymous donation. The generous amount was earmarked specifically for the maternity ward where Lucy was born. Intrigued by the donor's request for anonymity, the hospital staff speculated wildly about the benefactor's identity. The mystery deepened the sense of wonder surrounding Lucy's birth, and the donation helped to upgrade the ward, benefiting countless other families. But the coincidences weren't over. Caitlin discovered a letter one day, tucked away in an old family book while she was setting up a nursery for Lucy. The letter, written by her grandmother, detailed predictions and hopes for Caitlin's future children, eerily predicting that her first baby would be born under extraordinary circumstances and bring people together. The discovery of this letter, at such a pivotal time in their lives, provided Caitlin and Tom with a deeper connection to their family history and a sense of destiny for Lucy. Inspired by Lucy's birth, Darren Bandy started a yearly festival called Unity Day, held on Lucy's and her parents' shared birthday. The festival had fun activities that brought people together, health and safety demonstrations, and fundraising for local causes. The first Unity Day was a huge success, even getting national attention and showing how strong the community spirit was. As the Perkins family stood at the festival, watching their friends and neighbors gather, they thought about how much their lives had changed. Tom, holding Lucy, looked at Caitlin, both realizing that their daughter was more than just their baby. She was now a symbol of hope for many. Dr. Robinson, who had helped during Lucy's birth, also attended the festival and felt proud, not only as a doctor, but as part of this remarkable community. Lucy's birth, a rare event, had truly brought joy and unity to the town. What a cute story! Have you ever met someone with the same birthday as you? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you liked this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.